We begin with a disabled Aurora veteran who thought a moving company was giving her a discount, but Gold Star Movers ended up charging triple the original estimate.
She feels scammed, so she reached out to Contact 7's Jacqueline Allen for help.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In this video, Sonia Thomas says she's paying ransom for everything she owns.
They took advantage of me because they knew I was by myself.
A disabled Navy veteran, she was moving from Virginia Beach, Virginia to Aurora, Colorado, and found Gold Star Movers, promising a military discount and extra help.
Kevin told me that because I was a disabled vet, that pack what I could and that they would help me pack the rest. That was the way he worded it to me.
She says after movers loaded half her belongings, the red flags started.
Every time I spoke to someone, the price went up.
Movers said she'd vastly underestimated how much she had, pressuring her to sign this new estimate, crossing out numbers on the contract. When she told them she didn't have the money, she says they held her things hostage.
When they told me they were going to take my stuff and sell it, I believed them.
Instead of the original $3,600 she agreed to, she shelled out more than $12,000.
This is Tim. I'm calling from Gold Star Moving.
So we called Gold Star Moving manager Tim Hood, who has this story. She had $10,000 worth of extra stuff.
Yeah.
We checked, and the New York-based company has had 8 complaints this year with the feds, 3 marked as hostage. The BBB also got 3 complaints this year. How do you explain all of the complaints against your company?
I cannot make everybody happy.
Can you make this right for Sonia? Can you give her a refund of some of this money?
Unfortunately, by the law, I cannot make a refund or discount, nothing.
That's why Sonia took out a loan from a bank and borrowed from her family to pay cash, desperate to get her things back and now to warn others.
I don't want to see other people getting hurt. Know who you're dealing with. Make sure you read everything and don't let them add things on at the end.
Jacqueline Allen, Denver 7.
Well, another day, another construction project begins in our Colorado. Today, work kicked off on one of the biggest sections of the North I-25 Express Lanes project. Crews are starting to rebuild Highway 402. CDOT says this is an effort to improve one of the busiest sections of the northbound corridor. So right now, I-25 goes over 402, but CDOT's flipping it to turn 402 into an overpass. It'll be widened. It'll get new entrances to Johnstown and Loveland. The biggest impact will come next spring when 402 will be closed between the I-25 ramps for 4 months.
Aurora police arresting a man accused of raping 2 teenagers, and they have a warning for the community. There could be other victims out there. Take a look. This is the suspect, and officers tell Denver 7 that DNA evidence led them to this 24-year-old who was arrested this week. The 2 assaults, they say, happened on Vaughn Way and Jewel. And police are asking for anyone who is a victim to please come forward.
The field to become Denver's next mayor just got a little bit bigger. Lisa Calderon announced that she will challenge Mayor Michael Hancock in May. Denver 7's Tony Kopaleski is in the studio tonight. Tony, Calderon says it's time for new leadership here in Denver.
That she does, Shannon. Calderon has been an outspoken critic of current Denver Mayor Michael Hancock, including in the days following our reports where a veteran detective accused the mayor of sexual harassment. That was back in February. At that time, she led the Time's Up Hancock March at City Hall, where she called on Hancock to resign.
It's time that we have a people-first government where fairness, equity, and justice is available to all of us.
Calderon today said she will reform the sheriff's department if elected. Right now, the office is run by the mayor's office. Also, if she's elected, she would give power to the voters to elect an independent sheriff.
We need more people who care, but we also need leaders who care. And we need leaders who will be accountable to get rid of those people who don't care.
Mayor Hancock's campaign manager sent us this response today saying, quote, under Mayor Hancock's leadership, Denver is now one of the best cities to live, work, and play. We're excited for the upcoming campaign to highlight the mayor's solid plans and clear vision to keep our city moving forward. Calderon joins a field of at least 5 other candidates also running against Mayor Hancock. We learned today the mayor expects to formally announce his campaign for re-election before the end of the year. Ann?
Tony, thank you. Now, in Your Voice, Your Vote, a new poll released this morning in the Colorado governor's race shows that Democrat Jared Polis has a 7-point lead over Republican Walker Stapleton. There's a 4% margin of error here. Pollsters say they are seeing an increase in Democratic voter enthusiasm and that a majority of unaffiliated voters are backing Polis for the job. Also, just a reminder to you, Denver 7 will be hosting a gubernatorial debate with our partners at the Denver Post as well as the University of Denver. And we will have Walker Stapleton and Jared Polis there, and that debate happens on October 23rd. That's next Tuesday. We will carry it right here on Denver 7 at 6 p.m. as well as on the Denver 7 Facebook page. And if you'd like to submit a question for the candidates, you can do so by emailing us right here at the station at politics@thedenverchannel.com.
As part of our commitment to giving you all sides of the really important issues this election, Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski is exploring another viewpoint on Amendment 74. That's the one that deals with proposed changes to the Constitution to add property rights protections. And tonight, Jennifer is looking at the potential lessons learned from other states.
Let's start with a quick overview. A yes vote on Amendment 74 adds these 11 words to our state constitution, giving you the right to sue the government if a government decision reduces your property value, even by, say, 10%. Right now, you can really only get compensation in eminent domain cases, or if you lose up to 90% of your property value. That's what the Colorado Farm Bureau says they are trying to change.
We want to level that playing field and give them the equal rights that the government has.
That's what 74 does. It protects the property rights of all, including yours.
But critics argue the amendment is way too broad. They go so far as to call it Tabor 2.0, saying it could bankrupt some Colorado towns and would be a disaster for taxpayers.
Just about any local government decision could well be implicated with a lawsuit under this language.
More than 100 elected city leaders, along with Sam Mamet with the Colorado Municipal League, have come out against 74.
It may be the single worst measure I've ever seen on the ballot.
Now that you have the basics of each side's argument, let's bring in another perspective we didn't talk about in our original 360. A handful of states have considered ballot measures opponents say are similar to Colorado's Amendment 74. For our purposes, let's zoom in on 2 states in particular, Washington and Oregon. Voters in Washington rejected their property rights measure after a study there showed it would cost taxpayers nearly $8 billion to pay compensation claims, while Oregon passed Measure 37 in 2004. It gave landowners the right to seek compensation if a city's land use regulation reduced their property's value. What happened next, opponents say, is a case study for why Colorado's amendment is a bad idea.
There were several $1 billion worth of claims filed against both the state of Oregon as well as local governments in Oregon.
We checked, and this study from the state of Oregon says after the measure passed, the total amount of claims filed against the state exceeded more than $17 billion, which led to voters repealing most of Measure 37 3 years later.
It got totally out of hand.
This is about protecting all Coloradans.
The Colorado Farm Bureau sees this issue very differently. They believe the Oregon measure is an example of why the Colorado approach is better policy, because it works with Colorado's existing constitutional protections and legal framework. In other words, Oregon's measure gave governments only 180 days to respond to claims or fork over the cash, with no clear standard for the burden of proof. Under Amendment 74, they say the burden of proof remains with the property owner, while opponents still say Oregon's mess is a clear example of what could happen in Colorado if voters pass Amendment 74, and they question the campaign's real motives.
You've got deep pockets, you can do what you want.
What you just heard Mamet say is referring to the real money behind this campaign. The state's largest oil and gas companies are shelling out millions for advertising in favor of 74. They see it as a way to hedge their bet against Prop 112. We have much more on that part of this story online right now. Shannon?
Thank you, Jennifer. Very helpful there. And remember, you can watch all of our 360 political coverage on Colorado issues right now on the Denver 7 app and on Denver 7's channel on Roku.
Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, Vice President Mike Pence will be coming to Colorado, visiting Buckley Air Force Base in Aurora. The president will attend the America First Action Lunch at the Palm. He's expected to land around 11. So if you live around Buckley, you can expect some road closures starting in the morning. So make sure to tune in to traffic expert Jason Luber starting at 4:30 a.m. We'll help you get to work on time.
next at 6. Does everybody win when it comes to the lottery? The state says yes. How Colorado is profiting as those tickets for tonight's Powerball keep on printing.
And Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson continuing to track these fall-like conditions. What you can expect if you're heading to the high country for some skiing or snowboarding this weekend. That's next as the news rolls on.
Money is on the minds of Coloradans and happening tonight. Powerball will be holding its twice-weekly drawing. The jackpot tonight, $345 million.
And as big as that is, it's less than half of what the $900 million Mega Millions jackpot looks like since nobody won last night. Denver 7's Russell Haythorne taking a closer look this evening at what lottery profits mean for our state.
At this 7-Eleven, it's hard to keep paper in the ticket machine.
$900 million, that's going to attract your attention for sure.
The manager says sales yesterday were in the thousands. And if you think it's impossible to win, look no further than Madison Fisher.
That made me so happy. I felt like Charlie and Willy Wonka there. I'm running around holding my golden ticket.
She may not have won the jackpot in last night's Mega Millions, but she did hit 3 numbers and the Mega Ball.
Walking away out of here with $1,000.
So where does your money go when you buy lottery tickets? A quarter of every dollar goes to the great outdoors in Colorado.
Parks, trails, dog parks, open space, conservation efforts.
Revenue is also funneled to hunting and fishing programs. Now the jackpot is even higher.
Mega Millions was just increased this morning to $900 million.
In terms of what you could buy with that kind of money, you could buy the Kansas City Royals baseball team. You could buy 2 Airbus 380s. You could buy both the Colorado Avalanche hockey team and the Colorado Rapids soccer franchise, and you'd be richer than Tom Hanks and George Clooney. Yet most of you say you'd keep it simple.
I would buy a home in Mexico. I would put a lot of money away for my son and his college.
You know what? A European vacation.
We just get to sell tickets and hopefully make a lot of winners and also make Colorado more beautiful and keep Colorado beautiful.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
Could hire Tom Hanks to mow your yard for that money. So Denver 7 will have the Powerball numbers for you tonight on our app, and as soon as the numbers are drawn, we'll send them to you. You can find out if you are America's next mega millionaire. And if you don't have the Denver 7 app, it is free and it's very easy to find in Apple or Google Play.
The Halloween spirit has arrived at Children's Hospital Colorado. Today, the hospital hosted its annual Halloween party for its patients. Organizers say it helps add some normalcy to families who may miss trick-or-treating because of a hospital stay.
Being able to go pick out a costume for a child, which seems like such a small thing, becomes a really big obstacle. So being able to just come down here and get that support and let the kids explore and pick out exactly what they want, it really makes an impact.
And it's brilliant, right? The event was hosted by Spirit Halloween, and to date, the Halloween retailer has raised more than $700,000 for Children's Hospital. That is so perfect. Look who's here, talking snow? Snow or no snow?
A little snow for the mountains, but nothing down here. Beautiful weather down here. Nice combination because things are looking good up in the high country for ski areas opening up, and down here just warmer and warmer as the days go on. 52 at 7 o'clock, 45 by 9 p.m. and by 11 p.m. about 40 degrees. Top temp today was 61. Look at a mostly clear sky off to the west right now. Started at 36, which is the normal low. We're just a little shy of the normal high of 65 degrees. Right now in Denver, it's 55 downtown, 54 at the airport. Pressure falling slightly. Winds are a little gusty out of the south-southeast at 26 miles per hour. Part of the reason why we have some gusty winds, the jet stream, the winds aloft up at about 25,000 feet, fairly strong over the southwest. And this little circle here, the little donut, that's a little upper air disturbance, and that's stirring up some stuff. A weak surface low-pressure system over the Four Corners area, and that's bringing some snow into the mountains, mainly the San Juans and the Lagaritas, a little bit into the Saguache Range. Overnight tonight, snow showers expected in the mountains, but mostly clear skies out on the plains. And we'll continue to get some rain and snow showers out over western Colorado by morning. That low weakening, while high clouds again occur across the eastern plains. By morning, 35 in Denver, 39 at Akron, 22 at Leadville, 41 out west at Grand Junction. Front range numbers are going to be in the mid-30s at lower elevations, a little cooler up toward Greeley, and mostly 20s in the mountains, so they can keep cranking up the snowmakers at the ski resorts. I think another pretty sunrise with some partly cloudy skies tomorrow morning. And then with that weak low still just kind of swirling around down here, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow for the southern mountain areas above 10,000 feet. A few snow showers into the central mountains, rain showers out toward the Grand Valley, and mostly sunny the farther east that you get. A mild day tomorrow, 62 in Denver, 64 Greeley, 66 up in Sterling, and it looks like that warming trend will continue along the Front Range. The temperatures will be in the 60s on the plains, 40s and 50s off to the west. Partly cloudy tonight, then 35 degrees. Tomorrow, still kind of a partly cloudy day, but nice, much like today, a high of 62. Warmer weather on the way as we head into the weekend, 65 on Friday, 67 on Saturday. Sunday's the big perfect day, really sunny, warm, and 72, and then a little bit cooler early next week. This is the perfect name for a school to visit for a weatherman. Clear Sky Elementary School, and that's down in the Castle Rock area. And so here we go with all, this is not all the kids. I'm actually visiting the school again in about a month because there are 750 kids that go to this school. We can't fit them all in the gym at the same time, but good group of kids. Had some fun, talk about all kinds of different weather, tornadoes, hail, did some climate change education as well. I tried something new, and that's we're trying to do the Melfi, the mic selfie thing. There we go. First saw Melissa Etheridge do this in concert, and I thought I'd give it a try as well.
Good job, Mike.
There you go.
Thanks. All right, the Broncos, they are on their way to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Could we finally see some changes on the field to get the Orange Crush back on track?
Also, basketball season is underway. Nuggets kick things off with the Clippers. We'll have a preview of that game next with Lionel.